Basically, we are here to tackle several bills related to one, Magna Carta for barangays. We'll have a PowerPoint presentation later, and then we have the creation of new barangays from Taguig, Palawan, Tabuk, Kalinga, and the Senate Bill 1012, the LGU Transportation Act of 2019, authored by this representation, as well as Senate Bill number 1065, authored by Senator Recto, which we are including in our agenda, entitled An Act Accelerating Public Sector Investments in Local Infrastructure, establishing for the purpose the local Build program, providing funds therefore and for other purposes, as well as the bill on potable water supply system. But before we proceed, I'd like to have the committee secretariat acknowledge our guests and resource persons.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, and to all our guests. So for this morning, we have invited DILG, represented by Undersecretary Martin Bidino of the Barangay Affairs. From the Department of Social Welfare and Development, we have Ms. Cheryl Mainal. Good morning, ma'am. From the Bureau of Local Government Finance, we have Deputy Executive Director Jose Arnold Tan. From the GSIS, we have Attorney Lucio Yu Jr., VP for Legal Services. We also have from representing Makati City, we have Attorney Michael Camina of the City Legal Office. Representing Manila City, we have Attorney Michelle Lapus of the City Legal Office. We also have the Vice President of PhilHealth, Mr. Francisco Soria Jr. From the Civil Service Commission, we have Attorney Ariel Ronquillo, Assistant Commissioner. Mr. Chair. Yes, sir.
We start first with, while waiting for the other resource persons, I'm expecting representatives from Taguig City. I'm also expecting the former DILG Secretary, Ronnie Puno, who promised to be here to help the City of Manila. And we're expecting Senator Gatchalian to transfer to this committee hearing a little bit later. But we start with the Magna Carta for barangays. I understand, BLGF, you have a PowerPoint presentation coming from several meetings and one technical working group meeting conducted by this committee. Can we have the highlights first of the technical working group hearing? Secretariat? Can we have the highlights presented, posted on the screen? Can you flash back the first screen? So there was a technical working group meeting last September 19, attended by, nakikita nyo naman siguro sa screen, Yusek Dino, a representative from another DILG representative, BLGF, and then the president of the Liga ng mga Barangay ng Pilipinas, as well as DOF. And coming from that meeting, can we have the second slide, please? Ito po yung nangyari doon. PSA, is PSA here? Wala pa, no? 42,000 45 barangays. You're familiar with that. According to the computations of BLGF, almost all barangays cannot afford the proposed benefits scheme if it will be secured from the internal revenue allotment. Using the proposed salary scheme, of salary grade 12, 10-8, the funding requirement is 176 billion annually. Pero mukhang mali itong 4 million per year. I think it's wrong. 170 per barangay. BLGF will submit a revised computation. I think they'll do that today. DILG has 33 unfilled positions. And according to Yusek Dino, they're willing to reallocate this budget for all the barangays. I'll ask you later, sir. DILG and LMB want barangay officials to be regularized. DILG and LMB, ang problema, wala pa yung LMB rito, are okay with being given lower benefits for barangay officials today and simply allow for their increases in the future. Senator Bongo vibered me and he's willing to attend another, perhaps the final mini TWG after this hearing. Because after this hearing, we're ready with the committee report. We'll submit the committee report to the plenary. So, but I'll ask the BLGF to present what they have undertaken in the past several weeks relative to the consolidation of all barangay, Magna Carta for barangay proposals. Pwede ba nating i-post muna yung related bills on Magna Carta for barangays? Isang screen. Ito lahat yun eh. Senate Bill 96 by Senator Pimentel, Senate Bill 136. And can we have the features, please? Ayan, nababasa niyo pa ba yan? Medyo maliit na. Can you highlight that or can you chop that into 3-2 or 2-3 to have that, to make that readable? Naka-reading glass na ako, hindi ko pa makita. So in all these bills, makikita nyo, there are differences. Senator Pimentel's bill would call for a different financial scheme in the same manner as the bill coming from Senator Angara. For Senator Angara and Senator Pimentel, the total amount would be 738,146 per month. And that includes, then that would be for 11 positions. From the barangay chairman, all sangguniang barangay member, sangguniang kabataan chairperson, barangay treasurer, and barangay secretary. For Senator Gatchalian, the total budget required per month would be 256,095 pesos. Barangay captain, sangguniang barangay, treasurer, secretary, and 10 lupong tagapamayapa, and 20 barangay tanods. So 40 personnel, barangay personnel, would be included. For Senator Bongo, it would amount to 824,706. One barangay captain, sangguniang kabataan, sangguniang barangay member, barangay secretary, treasurer, and 10 barangay tanods for a total of 21 personnel. For Senator Revilla, it would amount to 273,895. 11 lang yun sa kanya. Walang barangay tanod and lupon tigapamayapa. My version would be the cheapest. One barangay captain, 8 sangguniang barangay, including the SK chairman, barangay treasurer, barangay secretary, and tanod, 12 personnel for a total of 35,000 pesos per month. But all of this came from the estimates coming from the BLGF. And I would ask Director Jose Arnold Tan to explain this to this committee, how they arrived at the figures that I mentioned a while ago, including the PS requirements, the ERA sources, as well as other sources relative thereto. You have the floor, Director Tan. we acknowledge the presence and arrival of Senator Amy Marcos.
Okay.
5 minutes.
Good morning, Mr. Chair.
The chairman of the Senate Committee on Electoral Reforms, the chairman of the Senate Committee on Social Justice and Cultural Affairs, former governor of Ilocos Norte. Go ahead, Director Tan.
Good morning, distinguished senators. So I'll be presenting the analysis that BLGF has undertaken regarding the salary proposals for barangay officials. Next slide, please. So this is a summary of, as presented by Senator Tolentino, our chair. This is a summary of the different Senate bills of Pimentel, Angara, Senator Gatchalian, Senator Go, and Senator Revilla. As for Senate Bill number 96 and Senate Bill 136, it is proposed that the punong barangay will have a salary grade of 24, that is 83,000 per month, no? And the other members of the barangay will get a certain percentage of the salary of the punong barangay. That is the Sangguniang barangay members will get 80%, SK chairman will get 75%, barangay secretary, and so on and so forth. While Senate Bill number 366 by Senator Gatchalian, the highest salary of the punong barangay is proposed at salary grade 12, that is 22,000 per month. So down the line, the salary will be based on different salary grade. That is salary grade 10 for SB member, salary grade for barangay secretary, and so on and so forth. For SBN, Senate Bill number 391, again, the punong barangay is proposed to have a salary grade of 24, that is 83,000 per month, plus hazard pay. And similar to Senate Bill number 96 and 136, a certain percentage of the salary of punong barangay will be allocated to the sangguniang members as chairman, secretary, and barangay tanod. While Senate Bill number 892, the punong barangay will get a salary of salary grade 15, that is 30,000 per month. And each officials of the barangay will get a corresponding salary based on the salary grade. Then let's try to look at how much will the different Senate bill requires per month. For Senate Bill 96 and 136, based on the salary grade, it will require 738,000 per month to provide salaries to barangay officials. The next slide will show you yung kay Senator Gatchalian, it will require 256,000 per month. The next slide will show you Senate Bill 391 of Senator Go. It will require 824,000 per month. Senator Revilla, it will require 273,000 per month. And the lowest proposal is coming from our senator, which will only require some sort of allowance, the maximum of which is 5,000 for barangay captain, and this will only require a 35,000 per month requirements. Now, how do we get the next question is, will the barangay be able to support the proposed salary requirements of the different Senate bills? So what we did is we determined the era of the 41,976 barangays per LBM number 77B, and of which 63 barangays have no era. These are the barangays that were created by the local government units that don't have era. Then we determined the RPT share of barangay. For the information of everybody, barangays have a share on the RPT collected by the cities and municipalities. So we gross up and driving back the barangay share as 30% for cities and 25% for cities. We have a database of the RPT collection of all provinces, cities, and municipalities. So we were able to gross back how much each province, cities, or municipalities is collecting when it comes to real property tax, and we allocated the 30% and 25% to the barangay. And for cities, as the slide will show, barangay share was divided equally among the barangays within the city, just a very rough assumption. And for provinces, barangay share was divided equally among the barangays per municipality. Other source of revenues of the barangays are coming from other local sources, and these are barangay imposition, fees, and charges. And it was estimated, again, this is just only an estimate. We estimate it to be 1% of the ERA and the RPT shares of LGUs. And the annual regular income was estimated as the sum of the ERA plus RPT share and other local sources of barangays. And we applied the 55 PS limitation of barangay. It is provided in the local government code that for salary of barangay officials, it shouldn't exceed 50% of their annual regular income. So, in preparing the budget, in executing the budget, the salaries given to barangay officials should not exceed the 50% of their annual regular income. Given this assumption, we were able to comply. The next slide will show you the requirements of the different Senate bill. For example, Senate Bill 366 of Senator Gatchalian, it will require 256 per month, thousand, an annual requirement of 3 million. And if we are talking of the all 42,000 barangays, it will require a monthly 10 billion salary requirements and an annual 128 billion
Director,
salary
Director,
requirements.
before you continue, the premise here is that you will get all your funding requirements from the existing ERA.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Hindi kasali dito yung ALGO.
Hindi, sir.
So, hindi rin kasali dito yung proposal ni Yusek Dino that there are 33,000 unfilled positions of the DILG and they're willing to reallocate this budget for the barangays. Magkano po yun?
Hindi po, wala po kaming idea as
Secretary
to how
Dino,
much.
magkano po?
Hindi ko alam yung idea, kaya lang, yun ang sinabi ni Secretary Anyo during our last MANCOM meeting, na parang ang ano po namin ay unahin muna yung mga barangay captain. Anyway, tapos staggered na lang namin yun sa ano. Pero ito, 36,000 ang unfilled position sa Philippine National Police, Bumbero, tsaka doon sa JPN, sa Bureau of Jail. Kasi ang ano naman kasi dito, Mr. Senator, the barangay captain talaga ang siyang responsible sa barangay. Kamukha nito, sila ang masususpinde pagdating ng clearing natin ng karsada at ng sidewalk. Sa implementation natin ng Republic Act 9003, barangay captain ang masususpinde. Yeah. Kaya
Kasi
yun po
tapos
sila
na
yung pinakaano eh.
Tapos na yung last day nung clearing operations, ha?
Yes, sir. Yes,
So,
sir.
kami balita na meron pa raw natira. Mamaya natin pag-usapan yan.
So yun sir ang proposal ng DILG na meron kaming may bakante na 36,000. So
Kulangin naman tayo sa jail guards.
ito po yung posisyon na ano.
So ganito yung sa simpleng pag-iisip dyan. Yung mga hindi nakakomply doon sa clearance, kakasuhan. Malamang-lamang, makulong. Pag nakulong, kailangan mo ng jail guards.
Sila na.
So sweldohan mo ngayon yung ikukulong. Go ahead. So yung 36,000 na is the correct
36,000,
figure,
sir.
not 33.
Oo, 36 sir.
Wala lang tayong total.
Kaya nga
figures
konti,
kung magkano.
hindi ko lang sir ano yung kung magkano yung amount. Tas kaya nga sir sabi niya, ang magiging kulang na lang kung 42,000 barangay. So siguro mga 6,000 na lang yung kulang natin.
Paano sir yung sinabi ni Presidente that we will hire additional 37,000 policemen? Kung wala na ito, wala na sweldo yung pulis.
Siguro tanong ko kay Secretary tungkol doon. Pero during our last MANCOM kasi sir, ito po yung naging suggestion.
But still, we have to get that figures kung magkano yon in peso terms. Go ahead, Director Tan. Thank you.
again, for summary, what we'll be presenting is the annual and monthly and annual requirements of the different Senate bill, salary requirements of barangay officials. So again, for Senate Bill 366, it will require 128 billion. Senate Bill 391 of Senator Go, it will require 415 billion pesos. Senate Bill 892, it will require 137 billion pesos.
Director, before you continue, I'd like to recognize our congressman from Kalinga
Yes, sir.
province. But,
Morning,
sir.
sir. So, and for Senate Bill 96 and 136 of Senator Pimentel and Senator Angala, it will require 371 billion pesos. And again, the least or the smallest requirement is coming from Senator Tolentino that will only require 17 billion annually. Now, this is the requirements, proposed salary requirements of the barangay officials.
Can you flash that again? There's a big difference between 17 billion and the others. That's why si Senator Bongo is really interested in joining this hearing. Kaso mo kadarating lang kaninang madaling araw from Russia, but he'll 17 billion. Can we have that, yung proposal ko? How we arrive at that?
Backward, please. Ayan.
Oops.
Yan.
No, this is just an allowance. 5,000 for the barangay captain, 3,000 for all Sanggunian barangay members, treasurer is 2,000, 2,000, etc., etc. So 12 personnel to be given. Hindi ko alam kung ano yung nomenclature. That's why we invited Attorney Ronquillo and the Civil Service, and then perhaps they can have a separate nomenclature for this, honoraria, hindi ko alam kung anong tawag dyan, and then the GSIS. So pinakamatipid tong naging proposal ko, parang Ilocano na rin ako, ang tipid,
O kaya nga, dapat
35,000.
mahawa ka. Utos ng panahon.
Go ahead, sir, go ahead.
May dadagdag lang ako dito kay Senator Tolentino. Kasi yung kahit pa paano mahahanap natin yung 5 to 10 billion. Yung 17, kahit maliit siya, malaki pa rin in terms of the budget kasi may salary standardization pa tayo. Nabutal pa rin ng 10 billion yung salary standardization number 5. Kulang pa siya ng another 10 billion, so hahanap rin si Senator Revilla. I'm wondering if we can stagger this on a 3-year basis. Umpisa ng 2020, 2021, by 2022, lahat sila bayad na, including the SK Kagawad. By the way, yung SK Federation members, sila ang wala, no? Pero yung SK chair, meron na sila eh. Kaya pwede na natin i-exclude. So what if sa first phase, barangay kapitan muna for 2020? Magkano kaya yon? Pagkatapos, sa susunod na 2021, baka pwedeng isama na yung mga SB and other members. Sa 2022 na yung Secretary, Treasury, and Tanod. Kasi medyo hirap tayo this year dahil sa SSL 5. Yung realidad lang, no? Kasi sa ngayon, yung SSL 5, nasa 31 billion pa lang ang nahahanap na funds. Kulang pa ng 10 billion. So, kung dadagdagan pa nito, baka talagang kapos. The other option, which hindi gusto ng Liga, pero ito yung rine-recommend ng DBM noon, what if phase 1, umpisahan lang muna natin yung 4th, 5th, and 6th class municipalities. Kasi yun naman ang alam natin na talagang walang-wala talaga yung mga barangay. Wala lang. Ilocano moves lang to.
Because we really are looking for that 4th, 5th, 6th option, but apparently the BLGF hindi niya mapakita kung sino yung mga ano. But can you take that into consideration, yung sabi ni Senator Marcos na i-face natin, and what would be the figures if you readjust that?
Can we make a presentation or submission in a later
No,
date?
siguro ganito. We'll have other resource persons speak, and then
Sorry.
babalikan ka namin.
Yes, sir.
We'll tackle the other bills. Babalikan ka
Yeah.
namin. But go ahead, finish this, and then babalikan ka namin mamaya.
Okay, next slide.
2.5
Forward,
billion.
backward, please.
Director Tan, Senator Marcos is saying that 2.5 billion ang per year.
Yeah. Kasi 35, magiging 5. Kung yung 35,000, ilimit lang natin sa kapitan na 5,000. Pero that's all barangay kapitans, no? Wala
Yeah.
pa yung fourth and fifth.
Ja-
Pwede pang mag-less.
Oho. So, ang sinasabi ni Senator Marcos, kapitan lang muna, first year, fourth, fifth class. Siguro sinasabi niya, anticipating the implementation of the Mandanas ruling, magkakapera na yung mga barangays. So, you have your staff members here. Can you do the math? Baka mapadali natin
Yes,
ito na ano.
but may I continue
go ahead,
with
go ahead,
with
go
the
ahead, go ahead.
presentation? So again, the lowest is with Senator Tolentino. So this is the annual salary requirements or allowance requirements of all barangay officials as provided in the proposed Senate bill. Now the question is, can they afford, with the current era being received, with the RPT and other fees and charges being collected by local government units, will they be able to support yung mga salary na yan? So the next slide will show you. Ito po. So ito po yung mga kinumpute po namin, kinuha namin yung 55% of the total revenues of LGUs coming from IRA, RPT share, which we estimated, other fees and charges that local government units are also collected. We take the 55% and compare it with the annual requirements. So if you will note, yung first four rows that propose yung salary grade, marami pong hindi maka-comply. But yung kay Senator Tolentino, almost 41% or almost 100% of barangay will be able to pass yung requirement ng 55% requirement, yung 55% of the annual regular income. So, based on our very rough estimate, the proposal of Senator Tolentino will, the barangay will be able to provide the necessary allowance without additional budget coming from the national government. Because it will only the 63, because this is the 63 barangays na walang IRA. Kaya hindi sila makaka-afford ng 55 PS cap limitation. But yung existing barangays that receive IRA and RPT shares and other fees and charges, they will be able to provide the allowance requirement. Almost 100%, sir.
99.85%.
Yes, sir.
So if that will be sourced from the existing era, 99.85% will be given.
Yes, sir.
If that will be sourced from a separate funding source from the national government, not era, mas maganda, di ba?
Yes, sir. Kasi there will be money left for the barangays for monitoring, surveillance, and for other operating expenses ng
And that
barangay.
can be placed in the ALGO item.
Yes, sir.
Can you proceed?
Then the next slide will also show you, because yung una is yung unang proposal ni Senator Tolentino, Mr. Chair. And sinubukan namin i-multiply by twice the salary, yung as proposed. Tiningnan po namin dito hanggang saan ilang barangay ang makaka-comply doon sa requirements kung multiply natin ng times 2, times 3 yung proposal ni Senator Tolentino. As you will see, up to multiply natin ng by 3 yung proposal ni Senator Tolentino, almost 99%.
So that will be 15,000.
Yes, sir.
Pag times 3. Pag times 4, 20,000. Pag times 5,
25.
25,000.
Okay. Medyo pababa na po niyang konti. Dumadami na yung hindi nakaka-afford based sa 55 PS cap limitation. So this is just to show you yung yun nga lang po, that setback is almost more than half of the of operating revenue of local barangays will be put on salary.
Yun nga yung problema dyan. Okay yan sa mga malalaking barangay sa syudad, pero doon sa maliliit na barangay na kakapraso lang naman talaga, like Kalinga, yung mga dulo ng Ilocos Norte sa Cordillera, sa Mindanao, yung maliliit na barangay, Wala nang matitira sa kanilang operations. Ang dami-daming utos ng batas from BADAC to education, illiteracy, health, vaccination, lahat inutos na sa barangay eh.
And
Wala na
squatters.
silang magagamit at all niyan.
That's,
Aalma ang barangay niyan for sure.
that's why po natama po yung proposal nyo, pwedeng phase implementation and some of the funds will be coming from ALGU or yung sa DILG.
Yusek Dino,
Mr.
short
Chairman,
interjection.
yes, kasi po, wala na tayong pasosweldo sa tanod na sila ang first line of defense when it comes to peace and order. Wala na tayong ipapasweldo para sa barangay health worker. Sila ang first line of defense when it comes to immunization, vaccination. Wala na tayong ipapasweldo sa lupon na kung saan 3 billion ang natipid ng ating judiciary at saka ng Supreme Court. Siguro, kaya nga ang ano natin, yung consideration natin, yung mga nagle-legwork sa barangay. So, maganda po yung proposal ninyo. Actually, yun na nga po yung nakikita din namin na kung pwede, yun munang talagang mga, yung first line talaga. Kasi, yung kagawad po, pag binasa nyo yung local government code, 4 hours lang sila pupunta sa barangay hall. Dahil ang trabaho nila is legislation. There are 2 meetings sa ano. Kaya lang po na nadagdagan ng trabaho ng barangay kagawad dahil
Yusek, nag-aawat-awat din yan ng mga lasing.
hindi kaya
Mga
oo nga po.
diba?
Kaya po
Minsan sila pa yung lasing.
pero by law po talaga sila. Pero kaya lang po nadagdagan ng trabaho nila, officer of the day. Monday, Tuesday nilagay yung 7 kagawad at
Yusek
saka
Dino, will you agree with me na wala tayong maximum number of barangay tanods, di ba? Wala.
meron po 20
20.
barangay
Kasi
tanod,
yung
20
iba,
health
lang
worker.
8 lang yung ibang tanod. Yung
Correct,
hindi
dahil-
nakaka-afford, no?
Yes sir, kasi hindi po nila kayang i-afford yung ano, pero may mga volunteer tayo. Aside from the regular tanod, may volunteer tayo. Kaya lang dito nga sa Metro Manila, talagang dito, may barangay tanod dito sumusweldo ng 12,000, 15,000 dahil sa laki ng pondo.
Take note of that. Director Tan, can you go ahead para maka-proceed tayo?
Okay, so this is, okay, next slide. So when we try to include yung GSIS contribution, because there is also I think there is also a proposal na maging member din sila ng GSIS. So we included yung additional requirements for GSIS requirements. So again, yung first proposal nung ni Senator Tolentino, all barangays will be able to comply. But as we multiply it by 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, and 5 times, so again, lumiliit yan. Hindi ko lang alam kung yung bang marireceive na salary or allowance ng mga barangay officials, is this salary subject to GSIS contribution?
GSIS. The Vice President of GSIS is here. Ano ba yung premium na dapat ibigay? Pwede ba kung honorarium lang o
Good morning, Mr. Chair.
or do we
and,
have to
sir.
create a different classification?
Currently, the problem with barangay officials, most of them are not covered because most of them are receiving honoraria only and per dimes. But I understand in the bills that were proposed, they will now be regularized and have fixed salary compensation. That will do away with that problem. As to contributions, if they will be integrated into the GSIS, just like most of us here, we contribute 21% of the salaries as premium, 19%, 9% as personal share, and 12% government share. Yan ang percentage ng premium.
Ng 21%, magkano na lang matitira doon? Magkano ba? Oh, so the next question there is for the Civil Service Commission. Are you ready with a separate classification na tawagin nating, hindi na honoraria, kasi nga yung honoraria daw, ayaw nilang kaltasan sa GSIS. Pwede bang regularize sila sa ganitong hindi kataas ang sweldo? Can they be considered as a regular government employee with a small emolument to speak of? Is there a hybrid classification for that, Attorney Assistant Commissioner Ronquillo?
Yes, good morning, Your Honors. Mr. Chair. Um, Your Honor, so far in the list of our regular employees, we cannot find any other regular employee that is in the same situation. All regular employees are subjected to the same rules and are given the same salary grades, and their hiring has been done pursuant to the same rules, the civil service rules.
These are elected government officials. Wala itong bandiklak. Wala itong DTR, di ba? Sa
Yes, Your
barangay ba,
Honor.
may DTR yung kapitan? Wala naman.
I'm referring, Your Honor, to the appointive
Yung
members
barangay
of the barangay.
secretary and treasurer.
Barangay secretary, barangay treasurer.
So
That they
what about the elected?
the el-
Kapitan, SK, Kagawad, anong classification nun?
The-
Ang tanong ko ganito, yung bang 5,000 proposal dito sa kung honorario man niya, honoraria, kung allowance, can they be considered as regularized with that small emolument remuneration?
Your Honor, for as long as they entered the government service, either through appointment or through election, they should be considered as regular employees already.
So as regular employees, they can be members of the GSIS. They can be covered by the GSIS.
Well, but the problem with GSI's rules is that there are only certain kinds of regular employees who are allowed to be members.
Who is in front? Will the GSIS be ahead or GSIS follows the Civil Service Commission? Kasi kung ano yung Civil Service Classification, ang alam ko, doon lang sumusunod si GSIS.
Your Honor, the GSIS has its own rules in determining who will be members of the GSIS. In fact, in the past, temporary employees are not even members of the GSIS. It depends on what the GSIS will say.
GSIS, can this be clarified?
Your Honor, I think the best way to approach this is that under GSIS, elective officials are considered members. Like the good senator, for example, or any congressman, because they are receiving fixed salary. So walang problema ho yun. And that is the key as far as we're concerned. If you're receiving fixed salary, whether you are elective or appointive, then you can be member of the GSS and avail of the benefits of GSS provided you pay the premiums corresponding to those benefits.
We call this, instead of an honorarium, we call this fixed salary.
Yes, we do agree. Even before,
Diba?
we said that the only way that
Barangay fixed salary.
this dilemma will
BIS,
be
BIS.
will be solved is that barangay officials should be given a fixed salary instead of honoraria or per diem so that they can be covered by the GSIS.
Matter of nomenclature lang. Kung tawagin nating fixed salary na, lagyan pa natin fixed salary. Yes, sir. From
Well, by law, Your Honor, it can be they can be given fixed salaries regardless of the amount. But I think this will be an exception already to the salary standardization law, considering the amount of salaries to be given to them.
Kasi ang purpose natin dito, madagdagan pa sila ng benepisyo. PhilHealth, GSIS, pwede mangutang, etc., etc. Hindi naman taasan kagad yung kanilang sweldo. Are you in that line of thinking, civil service?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Actually, the Civil Service Commission is in support of considering them as regular employees. However, Mr. Chair, we're also of the position that if they will be considered as regular employees, then their positions will have to be included in the plantilla of positions in the local government units. And then afterwards, if there is a need to craft the qualification standards for those positions, then the Civil Service Commission can render them assistance because those are
That
needed.
qualification standards, elected nga sila.
I'm sorry, Your
Diba?
Honor. I'm referring to the appointive.
Yung barangay secretary and
Yes, Your
treasurer. Pero yung kapitan and yung mga kagawad, elected na yun eh.
There's no need for that for QS for them.
So ano yung equivalency sa civil service eligibility ng barangay kapitan? Halimbawa, ayon sa ating local government code, maliwanag na the basis is the number of years of service of the said official shall be the basis for his civil service eligibility. Assuming hindi natin maibigay lahat ng kinakailangan ng ating mga barangay in terms of cash requirement, anong maibibigay natin sa civil service eligibility? Ano yung klaro? Kasi parang wini-work out pa ninyo. But what's the actual Sabihin natin 10 years na siyang kapitan o umabot siya ng maximum ng 9 years.
Your Honor, there is already a policy on that.
But what's the level?
First level. First level eligibility. If they have completed their terms, then the completion of that term will entitle them to the grant of first level eligibility. Subprop.
Ano yun?
Subprop.
Sub-pro. Pero kung 3 years o 6 years lang, hindi umabot ng 9 years, may sub-pro pa rin siya.
Subprop, Your Honor.
Kung hindi siya kapitan, kagawad lang siya. Or SK. Dahil ayon sa batas, wala naman pinagkaiba yung kapitan at yung ibang opisyal eh. Pare-pareho lang ayon sa local government code, di ba?
Opo. Yes, Your Honor, I'm not sure about the Kagawad, the SK. But for the barangay officials,
Officials din yung kagawad ng SK. Elected din. Ang alam ko yung SK naka 9 years, may eligibility rin.
yeah, anyway,
May scholarship pa nga yun
if
dapat.
eligibility will be granted, it's only first level, equivalent to sub-prof eligibility.
Yusek Dino, just
Mr. Chair,
before we
during-
let,
during my-
Director Tan continue again.
During my time, nung barangay captain ako, ang nagbabayad ng, naka-GSIS kami, nung time ko. Ang nagbabayad ng, namin, DBM. Nung time ko, nakapitan ako. Tapos, meron pa akong 2 anak ko ay pwedeng mag-aral sa State University. Actually, si Liza Dino, nakagraduate sa UP yan, 800 lang binayad ko during our time. Kaya lang nawala. So ito yung hinahabol ng mga barangay official. Doon lang muna tayo sa tapos medical assistance. Dati pagka kami, priority kami sa ospital. Nawala yan. Kaya correct sir. Kaya ayun na nga po, kung pwedeng pakitignan lang uli dahil noon ang reason sa amin, hindi na daw nagbayad ng DBM sa aming Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Before I proceed, just one note lang, sir, regarding the...
Sure, your staff, they're conducting the
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
mathematical computation.
Regarding the regularization of barangay officials whose salary will be 5,000, will there be no issue on it is the government violating the minimum wage law? Because you will be given them at a fixed salary subject to GSIS contribution, and I think the minimum wage law now in NCR is around 500 pesos per day. So multiply that by 22, it's around 10,000, and we'll be giving them 5,000 per month.
That's a good question. Pero pwedeng kulatilya doon na those barangays who are having more revenues through their own efforts will be upgraded. So we will be incentivizing the barangays who are really working hard to increase the coffers of their own LGU. But that's a question because we create a separate classification. We'll be asking DBM later on. But go ahead.
I think the other way to go around it, which is what the LGUs do, you call it a stipend. Hindi pa siya salary. Stipend na lang kasi nga hindi abot kaya yung minimum wage and will be in violation ourselves of the law.
But they will not be subject to GIS membership.
Paano sasama si GSIS without perhaps incurring the ire of other members, but mababa lang itong mga to. But that's another issue because that can be part of the law. Go ahead. Tapusin mo na siguro ng presentation mo.
Next.
BARM, ano?
Oh,
This is the
so
BARM.
preliminary.
We pay particular attention to BARM because most of the BARM barangays will also be benefiting from the 70 billion block grant that was provided by the national government. So halos lahat sila mabibigyan.
Yes, sir. And next slide. So after presenting all this simulated data, next slide will show you. So ano na sir yung kwan ngayon, yung findings natin. So Senator Tolentino's proposal has the most number of barangays that can afford the funding requirements at 99.85%. Even if PS cap was applied, most barangays can still afford the funding requirements even if PS is increased twice. Senator Goss and Senate bills has the least number of barangays that can afford the funding requirements at 1.4% only. And of the 587 barangays that can afford, 298 of which are located in NCR, mostly from Quezon City with 64 barangays. Of the 41,000 barangays that cannot afford, 4,390 are located in Region 8, particularly from the province of Leyte, covering 1,641 barangays. If RPT shares and the estimated local impositions are excluded, the result will even be lower.
Can you explain number 4?
Dito sir kasi in-estimate lang namin what we did in the simulation is yung sa IRA sir, okay, we have a definite idea on how much will each barangay will get. But on the RPT sir, we just make some estimate on how much additional regular income will all barangays will get from the IRA share. Remember sir, ang IRA sir is ang RPT share ng barangay is dependent on the collection of the cities and municipalities, but we don't have the individual data being received by all the barangays. So ang ginawa lang po sir namin is kinuha namin yung total RPT shares ng lahat ng barangay and we divided that equally to all barangays at dinagdag namin sa IRA sir. So a very rough estimate, a proxy indicators para magkaroon lang kami ng complete pictures on our simulation.
And then, this committee will be expecting that, yung preliminary computation nyo.
Yung one is yung simulated,
suggestion ni Senator Marcos.
yung phase in,
Yes, yes.
barangay captain muna, then yung mga barangays in 4th, 5th, and 6th class cities and municipalities. We cannot go by income class by barangay, by municipalities lang po. Actually, we have already made some preliminary estimate
Bakit
that.
wala? Sige, if you
Okay.
have that. To be placed on the record. But submit also a hard copy of that. Oh.
So, for 2020, 4 to 6 class municipalities na kung barangay, punong barangay muna ang suswelduhan, it will require 68.39 million pesos a month or an annual of 820 million pesos. So, this is for 4th and 6th class municipalities. This is based on your, opo. Then, kung 2021, punong barangay plus sangguniang members and sangguniang chair, ang monthly requirements po is 396 million at ang annual requirement is 4.76 billion. And for 2022, yung last tranche ng implementation is punong barangay plus sanggunian plus SK plus barangay secretary, treasurer, and chief tanod. The annual monthly requirements is 478 million pesos. Ang annual po is 5.74 billion. Billion po.
Is 20 tanods, ganon?
Yung pong hindi po, yung punong punong
yung
tawad
MP lang,
oh,
MP lang, oo.
yung sa inyo lang po, yung chief tanod lang po ang meron.
Can you
Director,
go ahead.
pwedeng mas staggered pa kasi parang lolobo siya from 2020 to 2021, biglang from 820 million lolobo siya to 4.7. Parang yung akyat from 2021 to 2022 hindi na ganong laki. Kung maari sana, yung parang mas staggered siya, sana nasa 2 to 3 na lang. 2 to 3 billion sana sa 2021 para mas kayanin ng gobyerno. Adjust na lang
Opo,
po yun.
yes.
Experiment na lang tayo kung paano.
Opo, we'll provide sa simulation.
Submitting a written position
Opo.
paper. Sige, we'll wait for that.
Thank you,
Ngayon
Mr.
din,
Chair.
ngayon
And then perhaps we can compensate for the first year and the second year. We compensate for the lack of cash or salaries by giving them the other benefits nga as mentioned, insurance, education. Some of them are also requesting livelihood and training para may priority sila sa ibang departments and so on and so forth.
You're done, Director? We'll ask DBM to react. May pera ba tayo rito? DBM, dalawa yung tanong dito ha. Yung presentation ni Director Tan has something to do with shares coming from the internal revenue allotment. Yung tanong ko na may pera tayo dito, may pera ba tayo dun sa ALGU? Pangalawa, meron bang pwedeng pagkunan na assistance to cover una yung proposal ko, pangalawa yung proposal ni Senator Marcos na phasing for 3 years. Anybody can react from the DBM?
Your Honor.
Ms. Marte
Yes.
from DBM and Ms. Nolasco, I hindi ko pa kayo na-acknowledge, and then we have representatives from DPWH, and then we have a representative from LUA, and of course Congressman Allen Mangawang from the Lone District of Kalinga. Go ahead, Ms. Marte.
Your Honor, from the presentation po, mako-cover ng IRA yung proposed na salary for the barangay officials, and we have no,
6 proposals here, ha?
yes, sir.
Parang sa BLGF, hindi kaya nung iba.
Yes po. Doon po sa lowest, sa inyong pong...
Over doon sa PS Cap,
Yes
na
po.
55%.
Yes po. We, doon po sa proposal niyo po, sir, na within naman siya doon sa 55% cap. Wala po kaming objection doon. But for the other proposals po na nakita po natin na it's beyond the 55% cap, we suggest na pag-aralan po ng mabuti since nasa batas po natin yun, hanggang 55% lang to ensure na ang barangay ay makakapag-implement pa ng development projects nila and makakapag-serve pa ng basic services.
The proposal of Senator Marcos na phasing, phase 1, phase 2, hanggang 2022.
If it's based on the income class, sir, the 4 to 6 income class, ang income class po kasi ngayon is not updated.
Totoo ba yun? Hindi raw updated kayo?
Yeah. The last income reclassification that DOF did was in 2008.
And then the next one will be?
Supposedly in 2012, sir, but it was never undertaken because of some issues.
Hindi, pero pag nalaman nilang may sweldo na yan, baka mapapabilis yung ano. Di ba? So, your only worry right now is because we have an outdated classification.
Yes, Your Honor.
So my other question, kaya ba tong saluhin ng ALGU? Kaya ba? Non-ERAR sources.
We defer to the comments of the ILG po since sila po yung nag-administer po ng ALGO.
You're the one sorting out the General Appropriations Act. So, kaya ba yon sa tingin nyo? Next year? O 2 years from now?
Yung proposal po ni
How much
Senator...
is the ALGU now? Hindi mo masagot pa, balikan kita mamaya. PhilHealth, yung pinag-uusapan nito, kaya bang makapasok yung mga kapitan yung contribution nila based on existing regulations? 5,000 ba sa 5?
Thank you, Your Honor. Kung i-regularize po yung ating mga barangay,
Tayong Universal Healthcare Act, di ba?
kung i-regularize po ang ating mga barangay officials, both appointed and elective officials, they will be categorized as direct contributors under the UHC law. So they
Which
will
would be the monthly.
they will have to pay the required premium for direct contributors, which for 2020 will be
Who will pay? The
3%.
barangay or the
The
official?
LGU, sir.
The barangay.
The barangay.
So, bawas uli ito sa PS o saan ba bawas to?
Yes, sir.
So, how much would that
That's why
entail?
nagtataka ko ba't hindi na factor in yung for
BLGF?
PhilHealth.
Ba't daw hindi na factor in yung ano? Yung contribution ng sa PhilHealth?
Okay, we will make, again, a recomputation
lalong
including...
liliit yan, ano?
Yes, sir.
Sa ballpark figure, how much would that entail?
Sir, it's 3% of the basic salary with a floor of 10,000 pesos salary, and for 2020, a ceiling
So
of
kanina,
60,000
21%
pesos.
napunta sa GSIS. Tapos sa inyo, 3%. So 24% na nawala. Nakaltas. Wala pa yung pag-ibig.
Yung 3%, sir, ay half of that will be paid by the LGU and half will be paid personally as personal share of the employee.
You were not invited during that TWG? Were you not invited?
Siguro,
PhilHealth?
sir, it's another representative who
Oo.
attended.
So, ang lumalabas nito, baka more than 25% na makaltas pa sa kanila. But that will be compensated by the other non-monetary benefits that they will receive, yung educational, what else? Medical. Ako, yung final ko na bill, yung relatives nila up to the second degree of consanguinity who will apply as OFW, exempt na dun sa OFW processing fee. So, karagdagang benefit yun ng mga kapitan natin. Meron kang anak na mag-a-apply sa Qatar, wala ka ng processing fee. Malaki-laki rin yun. Di ba? So, siguro mako-compensate yun. Mababawasan yun kahit papano. Yung mga labor fees na pag-alis, malaking bawas yun. So, kaya po, PhilHealth?
Sir, ang magdedetermine niyan supposedly ay yung LGU kung kaya sa budget nila.
So, but you're in agreement with this
Yes, sir.
scheme? Okay.
Pero LGU pa rin magbabayad ng premium.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Can we have
Madam
a-
Senator.
Pinapasa ninyo lahat sa LGU. Precisely ang dahilan na walang bayad sa mga kapitan at barangay kapitan dahil walang pera yung mga LGU. Yung mga LGU naman may kaya, katulad ng Metro Manila, talagang meron naman talaga silang stipend. Pero yung PhilHealth, pinapasa din ninyo sa LGU, parang hindi yata tama yun. Paikot-ikot lang po tayo.
Kasi po they will, as formally employed officials of the LGU, of the barangay, they will be categorized as direct contributors.
That's why I've been asking Civil Service Commission to create a separate category for them. Hindi parang separate classification, hindi naman hindi hybrid. 'Di ba? Temporary, permanent, JO, casual, consultant, merong separate sila yung mga barangay officials natin. Iba yung kanilang category, status para magkaroon ng GSIS, PhilHealth, etc. Lahat na sila.
Your Honor, may I react to that? First, Your Honor, in the present system that we have, the position classification is actually with the DBM, not with the Civil Service Commission.
Teka, nagtuturoan na tayo. DBM,
Yes, Your
kayo
Honor.
raw. Position classification, sabi ng civil service kayo.
Yes, Mr. Chair. It's within the jurisdiction of the DB.
Sinong tama? Sila o kayo?
Position classification.
Kayo.
Yes po.
Kayo ang gumagawa nun.
Yes po, sir.
So, how do you classify now the barangays? So, question ko, can you create a separate position classification for them that would enable them to have additional benefits? Yun lang. Para wala na tayong kasi kayo, sa inyo rin pala papatak ito eh.
Sir, the barangay officials are already in the position classification system of the LGUs. As Sir, they are not regular employees. They are only compensated through honoraria.
The purpose of the bills filed is to regularize them. can there be a separate regularized position for them, created just for them?
We will look into that, sir, but as of now, they are already in the index, but as to the salary, they are only, as I've said, they are only compensated through honorarium and not salary po.
So they are not regularized now.
No, sir.
That's why we're crafting a law to regularize them. So what I'm asking from you is whether you can create a regularized position suited just for our barangay officials.
Yes, yes, Mr. Chair, we will look po into that.
So how will you term that? Wala na siguro itong mga entry level. Wala na itong ano kasi talagang pag na-elect sila, kapitan na sila eh.
Yes, sir.
Kaya ba yon? Siguro i-refer nyo sa legal nyo.
Yes po.
Civil Service?
Yes, Your Honor. I think since they are already in the plan,
Kayo mag-usap ng DBM para ano? Para matulungan din sila. Kasi,
yes, I just like to raise a point regarding the regularization of the barangay. They are already in the plantilla. They are elective officials. The only problem is they don't enjoy any salary. Your Honor, I think if the law will give them a salary, that will solve the problem.
suggestion ni Mrs. Marcos, stipend. Can stipend be considered a salary? Iba lang yung spelling.
It's not, Your Honor, based on the
Anong letter
classification.
S? Oh, stipend, salary. Can that be done, ano, DBM? Or special salary?
Sir, maybe we will coordinate with the CSC regarding their ano po, the classification of barangay officials, and kasama na din po doon yung mga salaries po nila and other benefits.
BLGF,
Yeah.
before we proceed.
I'm just thinking out loud. Will the membership to GIS be mandatory or compulsory? Because as appointed official of barangay, for example, barangay secretary, barangay treasurers, probably after one term, they will not be appointed anymore by the incoming.
They can continue. They can voluntarily pay, and then if they transfer to the public sector,
Yes.
there is a law on portability. They can
Okay.
transfer that, di ba? So I think to really encourage them, especially dun sa malalayo, this kay Congressman sa Kalinga, ay mas maganda kung mandatory. Kasi meron silang pinangahawakan pag meron pwedeng mag-salary loan, pag bumagyo, di ba? Marami silang paggagamitan noon. I think to be a member of GSIS is an honor for them. GSIS ako, recognize ako ng pamahalaan ng Republika ng Pilipinas.
Dati may ganun, ano ba nangyari?
Naalis ata.
Since the elected officials are the barangay captain and sangguniang sangguniang member and SK member, why not let them be member of GSIS and the other appointed be member of SSS?
I don't know if SSS representative is here, but I doubt if
Proposing that the secretary and treasurer maging SSS naman para
the problem there is that under the law, all government officers
GIS,
should be
so-
members of the GSIS and only private can be members of the SSS.
With the indulgence of Senator Marcos, perhaps I'll be calling for another TWG with Senator Bongo. And can I assure the presence of GSIS, BLGF, Civil Service, PhilHealth, DILG, and DBM? We'll have a small TWG kasama si Senator Bongo, Senator Marcos, to trash out some details. Ang nakikita ko na lang ganito, the proper nomenclature, whether it is salary, honorarium, allowance, stipend. Number two, membership in other health entities, GSIS, PhilHealth or GSIS. There's no question, it's going to be mandatory. Number three, whether it is going to be by phase or given in bulk, or we just give the fourth, fifth, sixth. Balik ulit tayo dun sa issue na yon. After that, I think we prepare this committee is ready to submit the committee report. There is no doubt na kailangan talaga ng mga kapitan. Meron mga kapitan, 500 pesos lang per quarter. In a year's time, ang natatanggap nila 2,000 pesos. 500 pesos per quarter. And they're working halos 24/7 na yon. So siguro mas makatarungan na talagang mabigyan. Lalo na yung, kung 500 pesos si kapitan, ay baka wala nang sweldo yung hepe ng barangay tanod nun. Share na lang yun ni kapitan. So talagang kailangan. Pero how much, when, this is part of the SONA message of the President last July, eh yun ang sasagutin nung, we'll try to trash that out for the last time, October 18. Can we have the attendance of GSIS? Get that date, Comsec? Ito, GSIS, BLGF, Civil Service, DILG, DBM, and PhilHealth. We'll have an executive session of that.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
pwede isama natin ang DepEd or
DepEd?
CHED kasi ang laking bagay po sa amin nung libreng eskwela ng anak namin ng mga barangay official. Ang laki-laking bagay
Ano
nun,
to,
sir.
tertiary or
Basta't
college?
ang anak mo nasa secondary, basta't state university, libre. Ang college, ngayon meron na tayong K-12. Kung malibre lang, dalawa lang naman sana. Ano yun?
Ched.
Barangay captain and kagawad. Tapos yung SK automatic na libre sila. Yun lang po, mabalik lang sana.
Has this been done before? Yung si SK automatic na?
Yes, sir.
But they have to go through the competitive entrance exams, di ba?
Hindi, yun ang
pasok na.
privilege nila eh.
Hindi, wala nang entrance exam sa sa university. Halimbawa, gusto nung SK sa UP, hindi na siya mag-entrance.
Actually, sir, I don't know kung dumaan pa yung ano ko pero 800 a year ang binabayad ko.
Ay,
Yun ang
baka nakapasa naman sa entrance yung anak mo.
Meron, sir, kasing mga pag hindi sila nakapasa, fishery, may mga kapitan akong kasama. Yung anak nila nag-aral ng fishery, kung ano-anong kinuha.
Yes, we'll do that. We'll invite
Thank you, sir.
CHED and DepEd representatives. So, the committee, with the permission of Senator Marcos, will have the final technical working group on this, and then we'll have the committee report for submission to the plenary, and we're in agreement that the barangay officials, they deserve more than just a pat on their backs. They deserve recognition as government employees. They deserve to be regularized. It's just a matter of how much, when, and the timing of this proposal. So we will be consolidating all the filed bills. We now go to the other, we thank the resource persons who made their remarks. We now go to the other bills pending before this committee. We go to I understand the Mayor of Manila is about to arrive. Are you aware of that, Attorney Lapus? First we go to the, is Tagig here? Wala pa? We go to the bill creating a new barangay for Tabuk, Kalinga, House Bill, hindi naka-arrange. That's House Bill 4600, and we have here Congressman Allen Jesse Mangawang. We have a committee report coming from the House of Representatives, anak separating the sitios of Ileb, New Culayo Village, Kinama, Nambaran, Daya from Barangay Nambaran, City of Tabuk, Province of Kalinga, and constituting them into a separate and independent barangay to be known as Barangay Nambaram East. The committee report was submitted by Congressman Noel Villanueva, Chairman of the Committee on Local Government. Is the Land Management Bureau here? Pwede mo tawagan ulit? Okay. Wala naman sigurong boundary dispute ito.
Boundary issue.
DBM is here. So may we ask some words from the author of the bill, Congressman Allen Jesse Mangawang. Sir.
Thank you so much, sir, to the Honorable Chairman of the Senate Committee on Local Government, the Senator Francis Tolentino, and of course we have Madam Senator Aimee, members of this committee, resource persons, a pleasant morning. House Bill 4600 seeks to create another barangay in the city of Tabuk, which will be called Barangay Nambaran is. Actually, Mr. Chair, this is a refiled bill which has reached the Senate in the 17th Congress but has not passed into law due to time constraint. Should this bill be approved, Mr. Chair, it would enable the new creation of a barangay to be known as Barangay Nambaran is charts its own course for socioeconomic development, Mr. Chair. In view, therefore, it is earnestly sought that this bill be approved. Mr. Chair, thank you so much.
Yes. Mr. Chair, I'd just like to manifest my support, knowing full well the difficulty of reaching the sitios in Tabuk, Kalinga.
May we ask DBM, are you taking note of this? A newly created barangay as well as BLGF? Because this will entail additional internal revenue allotment for them. So you have a copy of the bill? Wala lang dito yung Land Management Bureau, but I don't foresee any boundary dispute since, Congressman, this was already acted upon by the previous Congress.
Yes, Mr. Chair, wala pong problema sa boundary ng dalawang proposed barangay. Yeah.
The committee taking cognizance of the previous approval by the 17th Congress as well as the manifestation of Senator Marcos and the proponent of the bill, Congressman Allen Mangawang, hereby approves the committee report coming from the lower house, and we will have our own committee report for submission to the plenary. Without objection, this is approved.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We can now excuse Congressman.
Thank you very much.
Salamat. We will be deferring action on the House Bill number 4599, considering that the proponent is not here, and creating a new barangay in Nara, Palawan. The committee defers action on that. And we will be suspending consideration of three bills coming from the House relative to the creation of Barangay Lower Bikutan, Barangay San Miguel, and Barangay North Daang Hari in the city of Taguig. We await the arrival of the representatives coming from the city of Taguig. The committee now dispenses with the presence of the representative coming from the Civil Service Commission, as well as the GSIS. Salamat po. And we expect you to attend the Technical Working Group 18 October. Thank you. Yeah. October 18 is a Friday. We acknowledge the presence of Yusek Echeverry. We now proceed with wala po ba si Mayor Isko? Wala pa? We now proceed with the bills relative to mass transportation system. This is Senate Bill 1012, which I filed, and Senator Recto filed a bill number, ano number yung kay Senator Recto? Senator Recto filed a bill, Senate Bill 1065, and this committee is taking cognizance of that bill, calling for the accelerating public sector investments in local infrastructure, establishing for the purpose the local Build program, providing funds therefore, and for other purposes. And part of that bill, if we don't have that on the screen yet, calls for local transport infrastructure to supplement and complement similar undertakings of the national government agencies. And part of that bill calls for interlocal cooperation. Local government units may, through appropriate ordinances, consolidate or coordinate their efforts, services, and resources in the implementations of their projects. And part of that bill, DBM, take note of this, the amount necessary for the implementation of the provisions of this act shall be sourced from the LGUs, from the share of the LGUs, from the national taxes collected by the Bureau of Customs. So, I need your reaction, DBM. Yung Senator Recto bill, yung kanilang funding source will be collection from the Bureau of Customs. So, this is not BIR, this is Bureau of Customs. So, apparently, this is one way of preempting the Mandana's decision implementation. So, take note of that. Comsec, can you give a copy to DBM? Bill 1065, pag-aralan nyo to. So, we have several presentations emanating from the city of Makati and then Manila. Ang sabi dito sa text sa akin, magpipresent na raw si Mayor Isko kung nandiyan na siya sa labas. So, we start first with Manila. The purpose of the bill is this. Pahintulutan na natin para ma-resolve yung, mabawasan yung problema sa trapiko, yung mga LGUs natin, na sila yung gumawa ng solusyon. Pag ang inasa natin lahat sa DOTR, matagal, walang representative dito, Neda, no? Matagal, maraming proseso, at siguro baka hindi ka agad attune doon sa problemang lokal. So that's why the purpose of this bill is to find other solutions to our traffic and transport problems by utilizing the resources of the LGUs. And we have several examples without cost to the national government. And we have several examples. Makati is trying to have their own transport system. The same is true with Manila. The same is true with Pasay. The same is true. We recognize the presence of Congresswoman Abueg. The committee will reconsider its prior decision of deferring the bill relative to the creation of a new barangay in Nara, Palawan. But before that, we with the indulgence of Congresswoman, we proceed first with the transportation bills under consideration. So the purpose of the bill is to accelerate the development of locally funded transport systems. So, marami Quezon City, marami nakalinya, Pasay, Davao was one, Cebu's BRT is also part of that. So, we will be amending the local government code to enable the LGUs to construct, operate, and manage their own mass transport systems, but interoperable, intermodally connected with the projects of the DOTR. So we start with the presentation coming from Makati, and then we segue to Manila kung wala pa si Mayor Isko Moreno. Makati, you have the floor.
Good morning, Your Honor. For City of Makati, yes, Your Honor. So this is just a short presentation with regard to the ongoing project of the City of Makati. This is a PPP with regard to a Makati public railway transport system. Yes, sir. Next slide, please. So actually, this is the in this first page, it will already encapsulate everything about the said project. This is a um, subway system. It will be 10 kilometers long, dual track, and it will go under the ground of Makati City. There will be 6 car trains operating at a time per track with a capacity of 200 persons per car. Ideally, it will be running from end to end in 2 to 6 minutes. The wait time will be about 2 to 6 minutes before each train arrives. There will be one.
How much will this cost?
Total project cost will be 3.5 billion US dollars.
3.5 billion US dollars,
Yes.
and at no cost to the national government.
No cost to the national government.
And are you familiar with the DOTR project from Valenzuela to Taguig? Magkano yung budget requirement nun?
I'm not aware of the budget, Your Honor.
Ito, not a single centavo will be coming from the national government.
That is true, Your Honor.
Go ahead, go ahead.
So, with regard to this project as well, we will be interconnecting with the various national government projects, such as the aforementioned subway of the national government, future potential links to the ferry transport system along Pasig River, as well as the all other possible.
And when will you start?
We will be starting the physical construction on December 2019.
This year?
This year. And
when will you finish?
It should be operational by 2025 or even before 2025, Your Honor.
2025. So, how many stations will be?
The plan initially was for 10 stations, but as of the moment, based on an agreement last week, in principle, I think with several other national government institutions, we might only have 9 stations. So I think the next slide will show the train stations. On the upper right, you will see in pink or purple, that would be the Makati subway line with its 10 originally planned stations. But as you can see, it will be interconnecting at various points with all other mass transport systems of the national government or possibly even other.
Pin kayo dyan, sir. Yung kulay blue?
Yung pink po sa taas nun, yung parang letter C, inverted letter C.
Pink ba yun or red?
Hindi, may red din ho kasi na 4 stops lang eh. Yung sa amin yung
So yung
pink
4
po sa-
stops na red, yun yung national government? Ano ba yun?
sa
Siguro
Sky,
suggestion ko
yes,
next
Your Honor.
time, because we'll be having more meetings relative to this, is to have a bigger, bigger
we can
picture,
provide, Your Honor.
and then probably a more, yung gumagalaw, may animation.
Okay po. Okay po. So those will be the city of Makati thought of this project because of the particular problem congestion inside the city of Makati.
So this is from Mailong to JP Rizal, or
It will be from now, the plan is from Mailong. We will be having we will cooperate with the national government, the Department of Finance, for the construction of the first station in Mailong, and then that will go to the Ayala Corner South Avenue in the current fire station over there, which will be transferred straight to the JP Rizal, near circuit of the circuit, Your Honor.
lalim ng sementeryo?
Yes.
South Cemetery? Ha?
More on the other side, but yes, Your Honor. This will be very deep, 30 meters or so, Your Honor. So it will not bother anyone, dead or alive, for that matter. So, Your Honor, from there, it will.
Mga pungsoy-pungsoy yan.
So sa ilalim po from ng JP Rizal, it will connect to City Hall and then near EDSA and then in Loton and then in
In BGC.
yes, Your Honor. and then all the way to C5, where the planned interconnection will be with the national subway, all the way to our Hospital of Makati in District 2. Yeah, okay. Yes.
To guide us.
Yusek. Baka matamaan ko po si Yusek. So, originally, this I think would be EDSA, the blue station. So originally, it would be here in Ayala, but now we will be transferring somewhere here along Mailong. And actually, if everything works well as well from Mailong, we plan to interconnect, build the line going to the Naiya Airport with the new consortium that
But that's no
was
longer part
recently
of
awarded.
Makati, di ba?
Yes, but it will be the private proponent who will be discussing it with the consortium that was awarded the building of the national
Ayan, NAIA consortium. Oh.
Yes, Your Honor. So that's a real possibility, being just 3 kilometers away from the Mailong depot. From Mailong, we still go back to Ayala near the Ayala near corner Buendia. That would be the fire station. And then we proceed towards the area in circuit already. I'm sorry, Your Honor. This is the area this is Buendia. So, this is Ayala. So this will be the, wait. This was the original plan. So from here po, diretso na tayo dito sa fire station. And then papunta na ho tayo ng JP Rizal. Ito na yung sa circuit area. And then papunta na ho ng City Hall. And then isa pang station malapit sa may Rockwell area bago dito po sa EDSA. And then sa Loton area near our University of Makati as well. And then all the way na po dun sa may C5 and then dito sa may UMAC area. In the plans, we can actually still interconnect all the way back, but then that's for future plans pa po.
Is the city government of Makati creating a new entity to manage this? Is there going to be a Makati Subway Development Authority? Is there going to be a Makati Transport Authority similar to the New York Transport Authority? I'm guiding you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Who will manage and operate? Is it
There will be a joint venture company that will be created. That has been created already, actually, between Makati City and our private proponent, the Philippine Infradev Holdings Incorporation.
Of course, you will be subjected to DOTR requirements relative to the fares, to the safety requirements, among others.
Yes,
Tama
Your
ba
Honor,
yun?
definitely. We will
Have
be
you presented
coordinating.
this to DOTR?
Baka
maunahan nyo pa sila.
We have already gotten in touch with Secretary Tugade and all other national offices pertaining to the permits that we will be needing. Actually, right now we're in the process of securing our ECC with the DANR for the project. So we have been coordinating with the
And your
national
current,
offices.
your lawyers, both of your lawyers, and your current legal basis for this is what?
Still the local government code, Your Honor.
Local government code. But the local
And
government
as well
code,
as the PPP.
it is not specifically provided there that you can go into such venture. That is why we are having this bill to enable you to fast track that project.
Yes, Your Honor, I agree. It is a gray area. Technically, there's no
Yes.
specific provision that is provided in the local
And I
government
hope
code. But
Congresswoman Abueg will also help us there in the lower house to have an accompanying house version of this.
this will definitely help, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
So, okay na yung presentation mo? Tapos na yan? Meron pa bang slides?
That's the basic
So
presentation. Your Honor.
3.5 billion US dollars with billion US dollars
Yes, Your
without any subsidy from the national government, without any sovereign guarantee, without any loan being incurred.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hindi kaya tataas ang buwis ng Makati?
Hindi po. This will all be paid for by the private proponent. They
So-
will source the funding and
So
then
how
they
will the private proponent recover? How many years yung contract?
It's a 30-year contract. If the last slide will be shown. Please. Parang ganun.
Last slide.
In a way po. No. Last slide. Rin
Oh,
transfer.
iba naman yan last slide mo.
Well, Your Honor, with regard to the last slide, this is actually similar to the Hong Kong or Singapore models, wherein the train operations will
How many kilometers ba to?
10 kilometers, Your Honor.
So, by October, this month,
December, Your Honor.
hindi,
December.
groundbreaking ngayong month na to.
Well, Your Honor, groundbreaking na ho kami last year.
Last
that
year.
when the PPP was
So,
awarded.
boring na sa December.
Yes, Your Honor, boring already.
So, you start with Milo?
I'm not sure now, Your Honor, of the final
you
details
should
because
start with the depot. Kung
the-
saan yung depot, yung pinakagarahe nito, yung maintenance.
yes, Your Honor. The final detailed engineering will be submitted at the end of the month. That's why we're still in the process of discussing the details of how it will be implemented. That's why I'm not at liberty yet as to say how it will actually be constructed, where the final depots will be, and where the tunnel boring machines will start.
I'm sure nag-uusap din kayo ng Tagig.
Mm,
Kasi may plano rin ng Tagig eh.
Your Honor, ang kausap po namin is
kalimutan
the
natin yung-
Mega World
Kung may
group.
away-away kayo ng Tagig, meron din yung Tagig na gagawin. Dapat mag-connect yun eh.
We're talking, the private proponent is talking with the Mega World Group, I think, which has won the original proponent status for the train to the railway from EDSA, Guadalupe to Loton towards BGC. So actually, that was also in the
That's a monorail.
connection.
That's a monorail.
Yes, Your Honor.
O, sa taas yun eh. Sa
Yeah, po.
Guadalupe dadaan.
So we're discussing with them, or the private proponent is actually discussing with them, to have a common station so that maybe they can just move their project and start from our subway, and then so they can go deeper inside the city of
Dapat
Taguig.
mag-usap kayo ng Tagig. I'm willing to broker.
Yes, Your Honor.
Para yung station talagang magkalapit kasi makikinabang lahat dyan.
That's true, Your Honor. It's actually in the first slide that was shown that with the various diagrams of the national and other routes of possible cities.
So this is the Hong Kong.
This is basically the model that will be used by the private proponent to earn from this endeavor, Your Honor.
So yung gumawa ng Hong Kong, ito rin yung gagawa sa inyo?
The one who designed the feasibility study was played a major role, Your Honor, in the Hong Kong
Kaya lang
MTR.
kagabi, may 2 station sinira ng mga nagpo-protesta ron eh. Sayang yun.
And that's true, Your Honor.
So congratulations Makati. We really laud you for that project. So that's the purpose of the bill, to help you facilitate.
Yes, Your Honor. This
that
will
project.
greatly help. That's why Mayor Abby is very supportive of this bill, Your Honor.
And you can attach in your ECC application a copy of the bill.
Oh, yes, Your Honor. We will do so.
Thank you, Attorney Camiña. Attorney Lapus, hindi na ata darating pa ba si Isko?
Sir, our apologies, sir, because the mayor is also tied up with the preparations for the convening of the City Development Council tomorrow.
Kasi
in
maraming
PICC.
100 days ngayon eh. Go ahead, Attorney Michelle. You have a
Sir,
presentation relative to the subway ba sa Manila?
Sir, currently, as relayed previously, we have 2 unsolicited proposals, sir. One
Kasi
for...
ang magpipresent sana ngayon si former Secretary Ronnie Puno.
Sir, former Secretary Puno, sir, is helping the City of Manila in drafting our position paper on these bills, sir. In fact,
So ano
sir...
yan, subway din?
Yes, sir, subway po
From?
yung unsolicited proposal.
You have a presentation?
Unfortunately, sir, we are not ready to present the transportation plan and the specific projects for the City of Manila. Sir, if Senate Bill 1065 proposes for a local build program and campaign.
That's direct to bill, yes.
Yes, sir. In the City of Manila, sir, we are #plan, prepare, perform. So we are really going down to the review and reevaluation and updating of the plans of the transportation plans of the City of Manila.
You proceed. I'd like to remind Attorney Camiña that there is a provision in the recto bill for interlocal cooperation. So Makati and Taguig should cooperate. Talagang kailangan mag-interconnect kayo doon. Wala nang ano yan, wala na yung mga nakaraan.
Yes, Your Honor.
Kailangan
Actually,
yan
we're very open to this. As I
kasi
mentioned, the
baka
first slide.
yung subway nyo, malalim, yung subway nila mataas. So akit pa doon, mag-escalator pa dapat. Isang
Well,
really-
Your Honor, at the end of the day, these can all
Di ba?
be technically adjusted to match the different trains. But hindi rin naman sila pwedeng same.
The law will force you to cooperate interlocally.
Yes, Your Honor.
Di ba?
We have no issues with that, Your
So
Honor.
you take note of that. Go ahead, Attorney Lab.
Yes, sir. So in relation, sir, to the City Development Council convention tomorrow, we will be amending our annual investment plan for the city, incorporating a bigger budget for planning, sir.
How much is the Manila proposal, subway?
Sir, because it's still an ongoing,
So wala pa kayong plano
Yes,
kung
sir.
kailan magsisimula, kung kailan mag...
yes, sir. It's basically reevaluating, sir, the general plan, and of course aligning it with the dream plan and the roadmap of the national government, sir.
So but this will be completed during the first 3 years of Mayor Isko.
Yes, sir. That's the ideal, sir.
So
That's-
it's not going to be a monorail but a subway?
There, sir, those details, sir, are not yet
Wala pa.
particularly determined, sir.
So ang mangyayari no, sa ilalim na lahat tayo, USEC din nyo. Wala nang clearing sa taas, nasa ilalim na lahat. So wala ka ng presentation?
Yes, sir. Unfortunately, we are at this point not ready to present, sir.
But the committee, I've been in touch with the other senators, and will give Senator Gatchalian a chance to catch up. Nandun lang siya sa kabilang room. The committee is of the opinion that Senate Bill 1012 as well as Senate Bill 1065 of Senator Recto are really needed by the country right now, especially Metro Manila, to solve the traffic problem. I understand Pasay meron ding plano. So we will be ready with a committee report once Congress resumes. So we'll be expecting a position paper from Makati as well as the City of Manila as well as DPWH. Take note of that. We would want to have a position paper coming from you. The DPWH, I'm sure you're not assigned to this concern relative to the relative to the PPP joint venture projects of local government units, because we're amending the local government code and probably the League of Provinces of the Philippines likewise. Kasi kayo lang yung liga rito and the DILG. If we can have that second week of November, attorneys, ganun din yung hihilingin namin sa nabanggit ko, LPP and DPWH. So we are ready we will be preparing the committee report, and this committee is approving in principle Senate Bills 1012, 1065 as a consolidated measure subject to style. We revert back as intimated a while ago with a House bill coming from the House of Representatives relative to the creation of Barangay Panakan in the Panakan 2. Dalawa tayo. Panakan 2, Municipality of Nara, Province of Palawan, and we have with us the proponent of the bill, the measure, Congressman Abueg, and we also will be hearing from DBM Mimaropa as well as BLGF. Wala pa rin yung LBM, ano? LMB. So, pero nakapasa na raw to sa last Congress, di ba? So, Congresswoman Abueg.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you also to the honorable members of the committee as well as to the honored guests of this committee. First of all, Mr. Chair, we would like to thank this honorable committee for taking prompt action on our House bill. This is a bill which seeks to separate Panacan Dos from its mother barangay, which is Panacan, well, we now call it Panacan Uno, but it used to be originally called Panacan. This bill was actually filed during the 16th and 17th Congresses, and even during I understand, during the 14th Congress. During the 16th and 17th Congress, this bill already reached the Senate, but unfortunately, due to lack of time, it was not passed. That's why this was one of our priority measures when we entered during the 18th Congress. And we are thankful that the committee took prompt action on this measure, Mr. Chair. Panacan Dos actually already exists as early as 2006 by virtue of the Sangguniang Bayan Resolution of Nara, Palawan, and as well as the Sangguniang Panlalawigan Ordinance of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan of the province of Palawan. It was duly ratified by a plebiscite duly conducted by the COMELEC. Unfortunately, while the barangay already exists and it already has its own elected barangay officials, it only receives funding from the municipal government of Nara, Palawan. This is why we sought to file this bill, Mr. Chair, to enable the barangay, Panacan Dos, to receive its own internal revenue allotment in accordance with the local government code. Mr. Chair, in order to expound further on the importance of this bill, may I likewise be allowed to adopt my explanatory note as part of my sponsorship speech. And I am very hopeful and grateful in advance for the consideration that this honorable committee will give this proposal, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Congresswoman. I think we have to, although this is a refiled measure, we have to amend the dates because the plebiscite was supposed to be conducted December 6. So perhaps the good lady sponsor can provide this committee an accurate date for the plebiscite. And if I may ask the DBM Mimaropa, who is going to shoulder the plebiscite? Is it the LGU? Is it COMELEC? Is it another entity or DILG? Kasi yung nangyari sa, ma'am, yung nangyari sa, I think, Zamboanga, Sibugay, or in another province, ang nag-shoulder yung LGU na eh. So, sa karanasan nyo, Director Marquez, sinong gumagastos ng plebisito? Maliit lang naman to.
Under the code po, may mga provision dyan na kung may mga eleksyon na nakita before the enactment of the annual budget, nagpo-provide po sila dyan ng at least 5% as election reserve. So, yun po ang nakaprovide sa batas. But I'm not sure who are shouldering the cost of the referendum or plebiscite.
Go ahead, Director Marquez. I'm sorry.
If I'm not sure, sir, it is COMELEC. And under the local code, there is always an election reserve. If the annual budget, if it was captured in the annual budget na magkakaroon ho ng plebiscito or referendum, dapat meron silang 5% election reserve. Yes. Yeah. Yung sa LGU po na nakakasakop ng barangay na yon.
Municipality of Nara.
Opo, kung meron silang reserve, sila ang pwedeng gumastos.
DLG, hindi ba dapat kayo maggastos ng ng plebisito lang naman to? Kasi minsan, wala rin budget yung LGU. So, hindi rin nagkaka-plebisito, hindi rin nakakreate yung barangay.
Sir, your chairman, that's the reason why if ever they plan to create a barangay, they should inform us beforehand so that we could place it in our own budget. We don't have that reserved budget
What
for
about
any
assistance
plebiscite.
to local government units, yung ALGO funds?
I don't know if that can be used specifically for that purpose, Mr. Chair.
BLGF, pwede bang gamitin yon?
We have no idea. Probably it's
Kasi
DBM.
ang dami po nakalinya na i-create na barangay. Hindi nyo mapipredict na gaya nito, 16th Congress pa to, ma'am. 16th and 17th
17th.
Congress. Naka-file. Ang dami pa hong naka-file nga. Inuna ko lang ito na itakel, pero ang dami nakalinya. So, ito rin yung itatanong ko sa mga susunod na, siguro yung Taguig, walang problema sa plebisito, pero yung ibang mga lugar, yung Kalinga, hindi ko na natanong kayo kanina. Problema rin yon.
Mr. Chair, if with your permission, this is actually one of the problems of the Liga ng Barangay before, because there are a lot of barangays who don't have budgets, because remember, barangays are era dependent. Since majority of these barangays, there are more or less 200 barangays which doesn't have budget. Well, 63. Okay, if that is the case, sir, this is a result of local government ordinance. I remember during the time of Senator Marcos, I think 16th Congress, they created a bill. They created a bill, actually, Chairman, that only by act of Congress alone, that barangays should be created because of the result of losing the ERA shares. And such bill is supported by the Liga ng Barangay and I hope by the DILG as well. But such bill, I don't know if it should be an amendment to the local government code at least, because we cannot see any solution if we put in the provisions an option for the local government to create its own barangays alongside with an act of Congress. Again, the result is the same. Barangays won't get their ERA shares without an act of
If it's
Congress.
created by Congress, meron. Like for
Yes, sir.
example,
Yes, sir.
Barangay Bagong Silang
Yes,
sa
sir.
Caloocan. Kahit gawin 10 barangay yan, pwede yan eh.
Yes, sir.
Kahit gawin 20 barangays
Yes.
yun. Di
That's
ba?
that's
Sobrang laki yung
yeah.
barangay, kahit gawin mong 30 barangay yun.
On the part of the Liga ng Barangay, that's the loophole that they saw on that provision of allowing the local government to create an ordinance just to create a barangay. That resulted to, as you have mentioned, Mr. Chair, the 63 barangays who don't have barangay, funded, yes, sir.
We're now going to Congress to be recognized so that they
And it
will have
takes
their
a long
own
time,
ERA
Mr.
share.
Chair, yes. It takes a
So
long
ang
time.
proposal ninyo, wag nang wag nang mag-divide ang mga probinsya, hintayin na lang ang Kongreso.
To act of Congress.
Is that the position of the League of Provinces of the Philippines? Ms. Sanchez? Kasi ang nangyayari, ang probinsya nagki-create ng barangay, walang IRA, hindi nakalista sa bibigyan ng IRA. So magkakaroon ng act sa Congress, so magiging dalawa yung trabaho. Nag-create si probinsya, tapos nag-create ang Kongreso. Ang sinasabi ng DILG, wag na mag-create ang mga probinsya.
Yes, Mr. Chair. I think that is a good that's a good proposal to amend the local government code para hindi na po mag-create ng ang LGUs ng new barangays, because as it is po, there are some LGUs who create barangays, but when there's another set of officials, wala nang IRA yung susunod na barangay, lalo na susunod na term, because precisely, lalo na kung hindi po nila kakampi yung sa barangay, Mr. Chair.
So you're in favor of that proposal. Can we have a
Yes, Mr.
position
Chair.
paper
Yes.
coming
Yes,
from
Mr.
the
Chair.
Mr. Chair.
League of Provinces? Ganon din ba sa Liga ng mga Barangay?
Not just only, Mr. Chair, not just only in the League of Barangays, but I'm sure with the League of Municipalities. I remember during one hearing in Maguindanao, sir, it was an issue that some of the municipalities there, ang Patuan municipality, if I'm not mistaken, don't have any budget and they don't have enough funds to sustain the salaries of the of the employees because they lack the funds. The reason, it was just a creation by ARM.
Pag nag-eleksyon, kasama sa pinopondohan
Yes,
ng
sir.
COMELEC yung eleksyon nila.
Yes, sir. And yet, they don't have funds because it was not an act of Congress. They did not inform the congressman to at least endorse it to the House of Representatives.
That's an
wala.
lack of democracy.
But again, losing the funds is an injustice to those employees who deserve salary, Mr. Chair.
So we have 63 unfunded barangays so far and municipal. Siguro we get a position paper coming from, ganun din ang position nyo? Bawal na ngayon yung mga LGUs na mag-create ng barangay. I remember when I was mayor, ang kinreate ko, purok. Yung purok naman, walang ira yun eh. So, purok is for administrative efficiency. O yung purok, yung hindi naging kapitan, ginawang purok chairman. So, may kanya-kanyang ano sila, may kanya-kanyang jurisdiction for peace and order.
Perhaps, Mr. Chairman, it's a first step towards being funded, meaning the local ordinance could be the start, and then eventually that would be a proposal for Congress to enact it. Kaya nga maganda nag-uusap ang congressman at ang local. Kaya lang ang problema ho natin kung may dynamics, political dynamics yung congressman sa kayong ano. Baka hindi sila magkasundo sa version. But still, nasa kapangyarihan nga ng Kongreso para magkaroon ng pondo from DBM.
This committee is taking note of your suggestions, but we expect your position. Very ano yan, very realistic. Otherwise, we will have a proliferation of barangays, and if another local official is elected, he will probably abolish the newly created barangay by his predecessor or consolidate again all the barangays for political ends. So wala nang katapusan yon, di ba? So the committee takes note of that. Relative to House Bill 4599, as explained by Congresswoman Cyril Abueg, this has passed scrutiny of the 17th Congress, and this was already submitted to the Senate for its approval. I have no objections concerning this. I would just like to have a more up-to-date version that would set the date for the plebiscite, Congresswoman. Perhaps if we'll approve this by after the budget hearings, perhaps February or March of next year would be an appropriate date, and perhaps we can also seek an updated cadastral technical survey coming from the Lands Management Bureau. Pero I suppose wala namang boundary dispute ito eh. Di ba? Congresswoman?
None, Mr. Chair. May we just request Mr. Chair, for the approval, subject to the submission of the updated technical description.
Without objection, this committee is approving House Bill number 4599, creating creating a new barangay in Panakan. Ayaw niyo ba magpalit ng pangalan? Barangay Cyril na lang ito?
There appears to be an attachment to the name, Mr. Chair.
Panakan. Panakan refers to?
Panakan is the mother barangay, and then when they separated it, they said
1 and 2.
they created Panakan Dos, Mr. Chair.
Without objection, this committee approves House Bill 4599. Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Wala naman kayong objections doon, ano? So, we defer hearing consideration of 3 barangays coming from Taguig. Wala pa dito yung Taguig? Wala pa yung Taguig. As we approve Kalinga and Palawan. The last item to be tackled by this committee is the Barangay Potable Water Act and the other bills filed by Senator Binay, Senate Bill 1002, Senate Bill 1013, filed by Senator Pacquiao, and Senate Bill 103, filed by Senator Subiri. I received a communication coming from Senator Subiri, the majority floor leader, that he would want to be present, and he is asking for a deferment as to the consideration of this bill because he would want to be in attendance. So I thank the presence of the representative from LUA, Mr. Danilo Basilio, the representative from DPWH, Engineer Dolores Hipolito, but the chair is of the opinion that we might as well have the proponents present, especially Senator Subiri and Senator Pacquiao. Since Congress now is on a recess, konti lang kami rito, probably that's the reason why they are not around. So with the indulgence of our resource persons as well as the DILG representatives, this committee is deferring consideration of the three bills relative to the potable water supply system. But before we adjourn, I'd like to ask from the DILG representatives as to the status, as to the updates of their Salin Tubig project. Alam niyo po ba yung Salin Tubig, Luwa, and ano po ba yung Salin Tubig na pwedeng makatulong sa Palawan, pwedeng makatulong din siguro sa Maynila, sa Makati? Ano po ba yung coverage ng Salin Tubig project at kailangan pa ba natin itong, I'm sure you're familiar with the three proposed bills, Senate bills, kailangan pa ba natin to? Is Salin Tubig compatible with the existing LUA projects, level 1, level 2, level 3? Is Salin Tubig compatible with other projects coming from the LGUs? Ano yung pagkakaiba? Ano yung pagkakaiba? Pwede ba natin pagsamahin na lang ito? Yusek Echeverri, Yusek Dino?
Sir, it is compatible. Actually,
What is Salin Tubig?
Well, practically, sir, it's capacity building of the local government to find sources of water and eventually help them outsource that water to the villages eventually.
How much is the budget for Salin Tubig?
1.5 for 2020. 1.5 billion for 2020.
Alam
Your
niyo ba
Honor.
yung dahilan daw kung bakit nabuhay uli yung polio
Um,
sa tubig?
yes, Your
So,
Honor.
The total budget of Salin Tubig is how much?
1.5 billion, Your
Billion,
Honor.
nationwide.
Yes, Your Honor.
And as of now, how many LGUs benefited from Salin Tubig? Ganong katagal na ba to? Medyo kulang yung kaalaman ko rito eh.
We started in 2012, Your Honor.
2012. So this has been going on for the last 7 years.
May 4559 identifies synapse for the waterless municipality.
Your Honor, may I?
Yes,
give
go ahead,
the
go
mic?
ahead. You are, can you identify yourself? The committee recognizes you're an engineer,
I'm, Your Honor, I'm a geologist, Your Honor. I'm Fe Crisilia Banluta. I'm handling the Salin Tubig program of the DILG. The participation of the DILG in the Salin Tubig program started since 2012.
Is this a foreign grant? Is this a loan?
This is locally funded, Your Honor. The National Anti-Poverty Commission identified
Convergence.
yes, Your Honor, the waterless municipalities. There are 455 waterless municipalities across the country, and
400?
455 waterless municipalities, and 1,353.
When you say waterless, wala talagang tubig?
The definition of waterless municipalities by NAPSI is that more than 50% of the population in the municipalities, barangay, ay walang access
Luwa,
to
take
water.
note of this. I'd like to confirm some data. Meron kayong presentation? Yes, sige, go ahead. While you're speaking, go ahead. And then we have a commitment from Director Tan, yung sinabi ni Senator Marcos kanina na you'll be doing your math and furnish the committee a hard copy. Bigay mo na lang sa committee secretariat. So go ahead, ma'am, go ahead.
And then, sir, aside from the 455 is basically more than 50% of the total poor population in a municipality or barangay ay walang access to water, mataas yung poverty incidence, at mataas din yung waterborne diseases.
We'd like to thank Congresswoman Cyril Abueg for joining this hearing today, and we thank him for doing the legwork kahit recess nandito sa nagtatrabaho. Kaibigan ko yung tatay niya eh. Ganong katanda na ba tayo? Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Yusek Adinio. Go ahead.
So, sir, in addition, yung Salin Tubig program is a convergence program which is designed for level 2 and level 1 water supply schemes, basically outside Metro Manila. So, ito po ay intended sa mga rural areas or rural barangays. And ang priority po dito ay mga municipalities na wala pong water districts na ina-identify po or operating in the area.
Is that you don't have a water district established in your jurisdiction. Bihira na lang 'yon. Luwa, how many water districts? How many municipalities without water districts?
So far, sir, we have 1,800 municipalities.
Teka muna. Bakit
That is
si DILG
under
455?
water
Diba?
districts.
Kayo 455, kayo 1,000 municipalities, wala. Bakit
No,
magkaiba?
sir, these are with water districts.
No, without water districts.
Sorry.
So how many municipalities do we have? 1,200.
1,000
So, ibig sabihin, 200 na lang ang wala. Pero sila 455 pa rin.
Yes, sir.
Bakit ganon?
Sir, actually, out of the 1,373 municipalities, ang wala, mayroon pong organized si Luwa, I think 740 something, 746 organized, sir.
Operational and non-operational water district. But we have also 116 dissolved or reverted water districts.
Yes, sir.
Meron palang dissolved water district na bumalik uli sa LGU.
Yes, sir.
So, hindi counted sa kanila yon.
Probably, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, we have to reconcile figures here. So, sa records nila, 455 municipalities ang pwedeng pumasok sa salin tubig because of the non-presence of water districts. Sa inyo, mahigit 200 na lang. So siguro yun yung i-reconcile natin. Baka nga mayroong mga na-dissolve, na-revert, balik uli sa mga LGUs.
Yes, sir. Yes po, yes, sir.
Go ahead. Go ahead, DILG.
So, sir, aside from the provision of financial subsidy sa mga
Usually,
normally, sir, ang pinoprovide is nagre-range yung pag-rehab, pag-upgrade. So aside from the provision ng financial subsidy, may capacity building po tayong pinoprovide sa mga LGUs in particular.
So the maximum amount is 10 million to rehabilitate.
Yes,
So it
yes
does
po.
not include a newly for the construction of a new site.
For construction of new sites, sir, we started with a 7 million. Ito po ay mga level 2. Ito po yung mga communal faucets, public taps. So aside from that, we provide the capacity building mula sa pagpaplano, meaning pag-prepare ng master plan, pag-prepare ng mga feasibility study and detailed engineering design, operation and maintenance,
How
until
much would
such
that
time.
cost, the capacity building?
For now, sir, ang capacity building namin ay nasa mga 3%. Ilan yun? Ilang percent? Nasa 2%. Yung CapDev natin. So, yearly, sir, ang inappropriate namin for CapDev ay 10 million each year, sir.
Paano magkakasya yung 10 million dun sa 455 municipalities?
Sir, yung 455 is the universe. So, yearly, meron po kaming mga 100 per year na target na mga LGUs. So, nagva-vary po yung mga capacity building nila. Ang strategy po natin dyan, sir, is we capacitate the local government units.
So if we have 455,
Yes
may
po.
mga 4.5 years bago natin matapos lahat ito. By that
Yes.
time matapos yung 4.5 years, nandun na tayo sa repair naman ng bagong gawa.
Sir, Your Honor,
Bakit hindi natin maisama sa luwa yung project ninyo para luwa na yung magme-maintain?
Sir, kami po, sir, ay doon kami sa mga walang water districts. So, meron pong proseso si LUWA kung paano po mag-organize at mag-ensure na ma-operate and magmamanage ang system. Sir,
Ano po ma'am, yung merong water district, sabi ni Lua, na dissolve,
Yes, sir.
binalik sa LGU. Ano ang classification nun? Walang water district din?
Wala,
Meron silang water district, meron silang malalaking tangke, meron silang personnel, meron silang mga pumps, may delivery truck, na-dissolve lang, nilipat uli sa LGU, inabsorb ng LGU yung functions. Do you consider that as a municipality without a water district?
Sa ngayon po, sir, meron po kaming ongoing discussion with LUA kasi, sir, pag once ang mga municipalities ay nag-create na ng isang water district, kasi may legislation po yon, hindi basta-basta makakabalik ang isang water district na dinidissolve sa the LGUs. So that's why meron po silang tinatawag na mga non-operational water district na at the moment binubuhay po nila para talaga magiging operational. Doon sa mga municipalities na
And the purpose is to be a water district again? Ganun ba? Yung ba ang end goal nun? Umalis na nga sila sa pagka-water district, bumalik sa munisipyo. Ang gusto ba, hikayatin uling bumaging water district? Kasi for purposes of efficiency siguro, baka mahina yung manager.
There are so many cases, sir, where a water district can be reverted to the local government. Number one is there is no source of water supply. Number two is the institutional development, meaning that don't have sufficient fund, they have a problem with the management of the board and management and the local government interventions. So these are some of the factors. That's why water districts are recalled back by the municipalities.
Ano ang classification ng water district na nag-revert sa municipality? Is it considered a municipality without a water district? For purposes of salintubig, ma'am. Qualified na sila kasi, tinan mo
yes.
may water district sila, napunta lang sa munisipyo uli, pero qualified na ngayon sila sa salintubig?
Sir, qualified po sila.
Magka-capacity building pa kayo, meron na silang water district?
Sir, qualified po sila sa salintubig provided na sa listahan po sila na 455 na in-identify po ni NAPSI. So kung halimbawa ang isang munisipyo na may water district tapos medyo hindi na operational, they can be magiging beneficiary pa po siya sa Salintubig program. Sir, idagdag ko lang po na ang Salintubig program is intended to address the MDG targets po, sir. Meaning, yung tinutulungan...
Millennium Development Goals.
Yes po.
Ang problema natin dyan, yung ibang water district are functioning. It just so happened that perhaps due to politics, it was reverted back to, or mismanaged by the GM, it was reverted back to the local government, but they're functioning. They're distributing water. They have pipes. They have water tanks. They have their own offices. Ang problema lang yung mismanagement. So, for purposes of NAPSI, dapat hindi na sila kasama doon. Di ba? So, I think there is a need to revisit this. Yung, sino ba talaga yung kwalipikado? Because this is a convergence program, and admittedly, your only goal is to comply with MDG goals. Parang MDG goal number 16 yan sa health, ganon. 7. So, parang compliance lang tayo. Pero ngayon, ang talagang kailangan natin, magbigay ng tubig. So, the budget is good for, your budget will require 4.5 years to cover the 455.
Yes po, Your Honor. Actually po, sir, sa ngayon, meron na po tayong napag-graduate na mga municipalities from the 455. Ang balanse na lang po, Your Honor, is 36 municipalities na lang ang hindi umabot. From the 455, bumaba na po siya na mayroong 36 waterless municipalities na lang.
Kaya kanina, nagugulat ako, so pinag-uusapan natin ngayon, 36 na lang ang walang tubig.
36 na lang na hindi umabot ng 50%. It's because, Your Honor, karamihan po dito sa mga municipalities.
Kaya nagpapa-update ako. Ano ba talaga? So ngayon, 36 na tayo.
36 municipalities from the 455.
So lumalabas na mali si Luwa na. Kasi 200 naman siya. Kaya lumalabas na mali ngayon. So 36 na lang pinag-uusapan natin.
36 na hindi umabot ng 50. Pero ang program po ni Salin Tubig, expanded na po, na SDG na po yung target natin, meaning 100% ang dapat may access.
So right now, again, 36 municipalities, ang target natin sa Salintubig.
Sa Salin Tubig.
Ito yung pondo ninyo, how much?
For 1.5, sir, since we are now transitioning to the SDG, yung balanse natin plus yung additional municipalities for the SDG.
Ko, after we have provided water through the Salintubig program for the 36 municipalities, are you saying now natapos na yung programang Salintubig? Kasi nabigyan na lahat eh.
Yes, sir.
Hindi na magko-qualify yung iba kasi may tubig na.
Since 50% lang yung ina-address ni Salin Tubig, it now transformed into a new Salin Tubig program, which is a convergence program addressing the SDG na po tayo, sir.
So
Bali
qualified
100.
na lahat. Kaya-
Qualified na po lahat. So,
pag na-address natin itong 36, yung susunod na program, halimbawa sa 2021, lahat na ng LGUs, kahit may tubig o wala, kahit sa Metro Manila, qualified na sa tubig.
eligible.
Eligible na lahat?
Ganito po yung nagiging programa po namin ngayon with LUWA, sir. To avoid overlapping ng mga programs, si LUWA will concentrate doon sa mga municipalities with water district, si DILG doon sa mga without water district. Sabay po naming palalargahin lahat ng mga municipalities to reach the 100% targets.
So ngayon, 36 na lang ang walang water district, gano'n?
Hindi po, sir. 36 lang po from the 455 ang hindi umabot or sumampas sa 50%. Kasi MDG po kasi ang Salin Tubig natin, sir. So karamihan itong 36 waterless municipalities, kaya hindi po siya umabot ng 50, it's because karamihan po nito ay nasa ARMM. Ang Salin Tubig program po,
Another
yes po,
issue,
sir.
because ARMM will be receiving a big bulk
Yes, sir.
of the budget. So they will have their own, parang nandito na yung mga tagig Kadi-defer ko lang sa inyo. They will be receiving a bigger bulk of the budget. So siguro medyo hiwalay nyo yung treatment sa ARMM. Pag hiniwalay nyo yung treatment sa ARMM, baka itong 36, konti na lang ito, baka 6 na lang ito.
Na po si ARMM dyan, sir. So yung concentration namin is doon na talaga sa mga walang hindi umabot sa 50%.
Alam nyo, the problem with complying, even on paper, with some SDG goals is that we are always being compared with other countries like Bangladesh, Dhaka, yung mga nag-iigib yung mga babae, nakikita nyo yung picture na hindi naman tayo ganon, di ba? Sa atin, mineral water pa nga yung iniinom dito kahit sa probinsya. So, lumalabas na yung SDG goals, no offense to the United Nations, parang hinalintulad tayo doon sa sobra pa sa third world countries na talaga nag-iigib yung mga babae, naglalabas sa ilog. Hindi naman ganun siguro sa Pilipinas lahat. So, I think we have to address first our water needs irrespective of whether we comply on paper with our SDG goals. Ano lang naman yung SDG goals parang benchmark yan, na nabawasan na yung mga may sakit ng ganito, may tubig na yung ganito. So, lahat yan, lahat yan in compliance with the global agreement that we reach a certain threshold. But in reality, tugunan muna natin yung pangangailangan ng mga Pilipino. Baka iba naman yung comparison sa atin kaysa sa Bangladesh, di ba? Mataas pa nga yung level of happiness ng bansa natin. Di ba? Ang taas ng ranking natin. So, can you provide us a copy of your recent ongoing projected after complying with having these 36 municipalities? Anong tawag doon sa kabaliktaran ng water free? Waterless yung isa. Ano naman? Water more? Ha?
Wonderful, Senator.
Wonderful? Ano?
Hindi.
Water-
Ang ini-aim kasi po natin ngayon na addressing the waterless, ito po kasing hindi umabot ng 50% at yung gumagamit pa ng mga unsafe water sources, like yung mga dug wells, shallow wells na hindi naman talaga treated properly. So yun po din yung tina-target at
Walang
ina-address
chlorine.
po natin.
So, pasok din ito sa mga DOH program eh.
Yes po.
Yun nga yung pinagmula ng polio ngayon eh, na bumalik yung polio. So, again, I require you to submit yung mga papers nyo sa Salintubig, and then siguro mag-usap kayo maigi ng luwa, yung sa figures lang. But this is a good program. This is a good program. Nabuksan ko lang ito while we deferred the barangay potable water supply system, because once this bill is enacted into law, it will affect your Salintubig program. It will either merge with the programs to be coming from the new bill, or you will be merged with LUA, or your program will continue and be adopted by the new bill. So, to justify that, we need your position paper in advance of the next hearing to be attended by Senator Zubiri. Can we expect that? 2 weeks from now. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you also, Yusek Echeverry. We recognize the attendance of the representatives coming from the city of Taguig. Attorney Warren Jose.
San Jose, Your Honor.
San Jose, together with the barangay captains of North Daanghari, New Lower Bikutan, and Barangay San Miguel of the city of Taguig. The committee already deferred action on your proposed measure, but by being considerate, since we did the same with Congresswoman Abueg of Palawan, the committee is now considering again the measures, House Bill 4601, creating Barangay New Lower Bikutan in the city of Taguig, House Bill 4602, creating Barangay San Miguel in the city of Taguig, and House Bill 4603, creating Barangay North Daanghari in the city of Taguig. So we recognize Attorney Warren of the City Hall of Taguig. Attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has this been considered during the last Congress?
Your
Can you
Honor,
explain to this committee the purposes of why we need to have several new barangays for Taguig?
Your Honor, I believe this House Bill creating the new barangays were already finished with the first hearing, which was conducted last September 16, 2015, then chaired by Senator Bongbong Marcos. And yes, Your Honor. And I believe, Your Honor, the second hearing was postponed due to the requirement set by the then Chair Bongbong Marcos, requiring the DNR to submit the cadastral surveys by the DNR. Yes, Your Honor.
So this was considered during the 15th Congress, 16th Congress?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I understand that there are 10 bills in process right now for Taguig,
Yes, Your
creating
Honor.
10 barangays.
Yes, Your Honor.
And right now, we are considering only
3, Your Honor.
3 bills. North Daanghari, the barangay captain is here.
Yes, Your Honor.
Barangay Captain Fortuno, New Lower Bikutan, Barangay Captain Franco, and then San Miguel.
Yes, Your Honor.
All these barangays were created by the City Hall.
Yes, Your Honor.
So,
Way back 2008, Your Honor.
2008. The Land Management Bureau is not here, but we take cognizance of the previous House bills passed. DBM is here. DILG is here. DLGF is here. Makati is here. Makati, wala bang boundary dispute ito sa Makati? Baka walang ano.
With respect to this 3 barangays, Your Honor, there's none.
Walang problema sa Makati. So, wala tayong friction dito. So, isa-isahin natin. Isa-isahin natin. An act creating, yata arrange ito. We go first with New Lower Bikutan. Yung New Lower Bikutan, iba pa dun sa Bikutan ngayon, Lower Bikutan?
Your Honor, before there's only one barangay Lower Bikutan. But to now, since the creation of the ordinance creating new Lower Bikutan, there's now two, the old Lower Bikutan and the new Lower Bikutan.
Is there a Bikutan in Parañaque? Wala.
None that.
Pero ang boundary nito Parañaque, no?
Yes, Your Honor.
So walang problema tayo sa Parañaque.
Oh, wala. None, Your Honor.
Baka makuha
Because
na natin yung SM Parañaque,
the-
yung SM Bikutan, kasi boundary yun eh.
No,
SM Bikutan is part of Taguig or Parañaque?
Parañaque, Your Honor.
Hindi nyo pa sinama para may SM kagad kayo. I see no reason for objecting to the creation of a new barangay Lower Bikutan, and the only requirement of this committee is to provide us with a new date that would specify the new date for the plebiscite.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, can you submit that within 2 weeks? Kasi that would be budgeted by Taguig. May pera naman ang Taguig eh. Di ba? We have to have that plebiscite. Kailangan natin na i-marka na rito yung plebiscite na 2 months after the approval of the measure, magplebisito kayo. Attorney.
Your Honor, if I may, Your Honor, there was already a plebiscite.
No, but that plebiscite was conducted after the Sangguniang Panlunsod created the barangay.
Yes, Your Honor.
So the plebiscite now, Comsec, if I'm not mistaken, is to ask the people after Congress has approved the creation of a new barangay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Am I correct, DILG? Nagplebisito sila noong
8, Your Honor.
2008, noong kinreate sila ng Sangguniang Panlunsod. Nagplebisito sila, creating the new Lower Bikutan Barangay. Ngayon naman, pag na-approve ng Senado, ng Kongreso, dapat magplebisito ulit. Yan ang batas eh, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, attorney,
Yes, Your Honor. We
ang
submit, Your
posisyon
Honor.
niyo ba, wala ng plebisito?
We submit, Your Honor.
Kayang-kaya niyo naman yung kapitan. Ang term niyo hanggang 2022.
Mr. Chair, that's because it was an initiative by the local government.
Yes.
This is a different act. By endorsing it to Congress, that's another act which is provided for by the local government code, which requires plebiscite still. But if the original act was done by act of Congress, it could have been done earlier.
Yeah.
Yes, we recognize that, Yusek Echeverry. So, maliwanag ka, attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
We'll be having another
Plebiscite, Your Honor.
Baka mas, mas landslide pa kayo kasi sabihin mo lang, kapitan, makukuha na yung SM Bikutan ng Parañaque. So, we approve House Bill 4601. No objections from Makati. Territorial boundaries are not disputed. As well as population, land area. So this committee will endorse this to the plenary.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So we go to House Bill 4602, creating Barangay San Miguel in the city of Taguig. Dati ba walang San Miguel?
Wala po, Your
Dati
Honor.
anong part po ito?
Haguno, Your Honor. Barangay Haguno.
Oo nga po. Ito ba yung second floor yung May second floor yung barangay hall? Nakapunta na ako dyan. Opo. Alam nyo, kaya ako nagpunta dyan dati. Minarkahan natin yung yung dadaanan ng West Valley Fault. Tama ba yan?
Yes, sir.
So pag nahati ng West Valley Fault, dadami lalo yung barangay. Minarkahan natin yun, di ba? So, Barangay San Miguel, attorney, anong purpose ng creation ng Barangay San Miguel?
Your Honor, the purpose of the creation of the Barangay San Miguel, because the constituents there, Your Honor, is big enough.
Ilan ang population nila? Kapitan, ilan ang population nyo?
5,000.
Sa ngayon po, Your Honor, ang Barangay San Miguel, we have already 11,000 since 2009 na na-create po kami. Before, we are only 6,000 for the creation of Barangay San Miguel.
At attorney, matanong ko lang, nagpapagawa ng bagong Senado eh. Saan ba yung bagong Senado? Sa Lower Bicutan o San Miguel?
Sa Global Port, Your Honor.
Global Port, hindi sa barangay nilang tatlo.
Hindi po, Your Honor.
Kasi pag doon kami lumipat, sakop nyo kami. So, Barangay San Miguel as 11,000, no boundary dispute with Makati. Wala, malayo ito. Ang layo nito.
Yes, Your Honor.
Tabi na release ito. Di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, this committee is taking cognizance once again of the previous bills approved by the lower house during the 15th, 16th, and 17th Congress, and hereby approves the creation of Barangay San Miguel in the city of Taguig.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Barangay North Daang Hari, House Bill 4603. Daang Hari, sa amin na to, sa Cavite na to ha. Barangay, saan ang location ito?
Nanggaling po sa Barangay Tanyag po ang North Daang Hari. Nagkaroon nga po ng South Daang Hari dahil yung dating barangay na Barangay Tanyag na pagtatlo.
So ito po yung tatawid sa
Sa
SLEX?
Rinis, yeah po.
So ang kabila nito, ito na yung National Penitentiary.
Hindi pa po.
Hindi pa. So,
Dito po kami sa malapit sa SM Bikutan.
katabi rin ni Sir.
Opo, DOST po ang
Tama.
North.
TESDA, yung mga TESDA. Malapit to sa ospital.
Medyo malayo. Western Bikutan po sumasakop sa ospital.
FTI.
Yun po, yung magkakasama po.
Sakop nyo FTI.
Hindi po.
Okay.
Along DOST lang po kami pagkatapos yung Camp Bagong Diwa.
Ilan ang population nyo, sir?
Maabot po kami ngayon ng 14,000.
So this was likewise approved during the 16th Congress, Attorney?
Yes.
15th Congress?
Yes, Your Honor.
17th Congress? Hindi lang umabot siguro sa final approval. So, no objections from Makati? Malayo ito sa inyo.
Yes, Your Honor. Just
Manila, no objections? Wala, lumalayo sa Manila. Di ba? Malayo na sa Manila to. So, this committee is approving House Bill 4603, creating Barangay North Daang Hari in the city of Taguig, Metropolitan Manila.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Maraming salamat po.
Congratulations sa inyo. No other matters to be tackled. We expect consideration of the water bills for our next hearing, during our next hearing, as well as the completion of the Magna Carta for barangays in a small TWG meeting to be attended by Senator Go. And we expect to deliver the committee report to the plenary relative to the LGU transportation bills. Without other matters to consider, this committee hearing is hereby suspended. Thank you for your participation.
Sir, may from Office of Senate President Soto wants to talk to you. Parang may...
Sa taas na.
Sa taas na lang, sir.